Good morning. Sometimes, the most incredible stories begin in the most unexpected ways. Imagine a wildfire, a force of nature we often see as destructive, actually becoming a key that unlocks a mystery nearly 2,000 years old. This is exactly what happened near the Sea of Galilee in Israel. A blaze swept across the landscape, clearing thick, thorny brush that had hidden the ground for centuries. When the smoke cleared and the ashes settled, something remarkable was exposed to the light of day for the first time in generations. What emerged were the faint outlines of ancient structures. With the path now clear, the archaeological team got to work. They laid out grids and tools, ready to read the newly opened ground. The earth began to give up its secrets piece by piece. They uncovered ancient stone walls outlining homes and public spaces. You could almost imagine the daily hustle and bustle. Families, workers, markets. Deeper digging revealed tiny finds, the small details that tell the biggest stories. Among the most exciting finds were fishing tools, lead net weights, still as they were 2,000 years ago. Perhaps the most significant structure was a Roman-style bathhouse, a hallmark of urban life. These finds confirmed a thriving settlement during the time of Jesus. Why does this matter to people of faith and historians alike? Because Bethsaida is named as the hometown of three of Jesus' most prominent apostles, Peter, Andrew, and Philip. The Gospel of John says, "Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter." This was a fishing village, the place where Jesus called his first followers from their nets. Finding Bethsaida turns words on a page into a tangible place, pots, nets, and homes they once used. Unearthing this village lets us walk where Peter, Andrew, and Philip once walked. Bethsaida literally means house of the fishermen, a fitting name for the artifacts found at El Araj. These are not just historical clues, they are personal traces of the apostles' lives. The case for El Araj as Bethsaida rests on artifacts and a trail of ancient texts. Flavius Josephus wrote that Bethsaida was elevated to a city by Herod Philip, a detail archaeologists can now test. A Roman bathhouse suggests urban status, evidence that matches Josephus's description. Gospel accounts describe events and geography that point to a shoreline town like El Araj. By the 8th century, pilgrims like Willibald identified a church on the site built over the apostles' home. Maps, texts, and ruins converge, pointing to El Araj on the Galilean shore. Lower lake levels in antiquity put El Araj on prime shoreline land. Later sediments buried the town. Taken together, the evidence is shifting scholarly consensus. For years, Et Tel was a leading candidate for Bethsaida, but El Araj sits on the shore at the Jordan estuary, the precise geography described in ancient sources. Et Tel lacks clear Roman urban evidence, while El Araj has Roman-era architecture. A bathhouse at El Araj matches Josephus's account of a city elevated by Philip. Geology explains why Bethsaida disappeared beneath silt and river sediments over centuries. Location, artifacts, ancient accounts, and geology form a compelling case for El Araj as Bethsaida. Archaeology reads history like pages in a book, layer by layer. At the base is a first-century Jewish fishing village, the world of Peter and his companions. Pottery, net weights, and stone foundations speak of daily life by the lake. Centuries later, the simple village was transformed. A grand Byzantine basilica was built directly above it. The church floors were decorated with intricate mosaics and inscriptions, public testimony to the site's sacred identity. Pilgrim accounts and the basilica's scale show this was a major destination for Byzantine Christians. Later layers reveal Crusader-era activity and even a medieval sugar factory. The site lived many lives. In 2022, the team made a discovery that electrified everyone on site. While cleaning a Byzantine mosaic floor, conservators exposed an inscription framed in a black medallion. Written in ancient Greek, the dedication invoked a holy figure as the chief and commander of the heavenly apostles. In the context of a church at Bethsaida, that title points directly to the Apostle Peter. The mosaic also names a donor, a man identified as a servant of Christ, strengthening the dedication context. This was the first text from the site that directly connected the place to one of the apostles. For archaeologists and believers alike, it was a voice from the past. Jesus told Peter, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." At El Araj, a physical church literally sits atop the village that likely produced Peter, a beautiful literal echo of that promise. This was no small chapel. The basilica's scale and art show a major center of veneration. 8th century pilgrim accounts preserved a tradition that this site honored Peter and Andrew. Building churches on top of holy houses was a Byzantine way to sanctify and remember local sacred places. The humble lives of fishermen became the bedrock of a global faith memorialized in stone and mosaic. Today, visitors can touch the same ground and mosaics that commemorated the apostles for centuries. It is a powerful testament to memory and faith. So what does this mean for us today? The discovery bridges the biblical world and our modern era. For millions, gospel stories are now anchored to a place that can be seen and studied. Fishing tools, jugs, lamps, and house foundations make the apostles more human, real people with homes and trades. The excavation continues. Each season peels back more layers of a long story. Out of the ashes of a wildfire came one of the most illuminating discoveries of the Galilee. As archaeologists keep digging, who knows what more the House of the Fisherman will reveal, a living history rising